this point. So now the question is, what the heck did I play that on? So for those of you who don't know, this is a French horn, and I've been playing this since I was 11 years old, trying to master it since I was 11 years old. Today I'm going to give you a brief history and facts of the instrument itself, and hopefully entertain you by showing you some of the basic fundamentals of playing it. So now for the history, I'll try and add some fun facts because I know it's probably kind of boring. The French horn started out as the natural horn, which means that it didn't have valves on them, which are these right here. So you had to place your hand in what is called the bell, and you had to move it around to produce different pitches. So it's kind of hard. I don't know how to do it. So in the early 19th century, I think it was like 1815 or something, the valves were added, and they were known as pistons. And these weren't popular at first because everybody thought that it wasn't natural, like that's what was, like it meant to play the French horn was that you knew how to move your hand to make the notes. But really, what convinced everybody to play is that instead of playing just notes like 1, 3, 5 above everybody, I know this doesn't make sense, I'm going to explain it. You can play chromatically, which means every note. So I know you're wondering what all of those words mean, but I'm going to explain it. So now you see why it's so difficult. In fact, it's the hardest brass instrument to play. So for 8 years, I've been trying to get it all down, and I still haven't mastered everything there is to learn about it. Another reason for the difficulty is the size of the horn. If you were to uncoil this and break it all apart, it would be 21 foot long. So you have to put like a lot of air in it to get it to play. And you add the 21 foot with 3 valves, and it gets even trickier. So I'm going to explain to you what those words meant. If you push down any one of these valves, you can play one of over 20 notes. So what that means is that to play one note, you have to set your mouth just right to play it. So, like on the staff, your high F, your high G, and your high A, which are all 3 in a row, are all played with the same fingering. So it gets a little difficult. So you have to know, like, the muscles in your mouth have to know exactly where to go. So if I wanted to play that F again, I could just play it. Or the G. And it's really hard, like, to know. Your muscles have to know exactly where to put it. And so the next thing I'm going to explain is the chromatic. So does anybody not know what chromatic means? Okay, so chromatic means every note that you can play, like da, 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 da. You've heard scales that do that. So you can play. And then, so that's what they were able to do once they added the valves into this. But before that, you had to move your hand, and then even before we knew that these valves could make those notes, you could push down one note and one valve and play one of 20 notes. I didn't even play all of them. You can go way up in your range and way below. So if you don't know what this is, it's a French horn. I've already told you that. This right here is your mouthpiece. It's the only brass mouthpiece that is shaped like a funnel, and the reason it's shaped like that is to make the sound that this thing makes. So you've heard trumpets, they're like high and squeaky, and you've heard like tubas that are bark, bark. So the French horn sound is more of a mellow sound, which is kind of why I picked it, because I thought it was really pretty. So this is what makes your sound. And you can even play like notes on this thing. Like you could play you know that song. Okay, and then this is the bell, and this also produces a sound. The reason reason why I keep my hand in here is to tame the sound, because if you were to just play without it, it would go everywhere and it would be really sharp. The French horn has the highest range of every instrument in the whole entire band, because we can play anywhere from 3 to 5 octaves, which is 8 notes in a scale. So da na 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 na. I can play 3.5. So I'm not, or 4.5. I haven't gotten 5, but it gets a little crazy because I can play way high and way low. Okay, so the other parts of the horn include the tuning slides, and they are these right here. You can take them out, and there's medium-sized ones like these, and then there's a baby one, and then we have our 6 main ones for the valves right here, and they all come out. Okay, so now we're going to have a volunteer come up and try and play. So I'm just trying to prove that even someone very athletic and sporty can do this. Okay. So, yeah. This one uses one. Okay. So first I need you to just blow into the mouthpiece. Yeah. Now hold your 3, and pinky goes right there. Thumb goes right there. Underneath. And you can put your hand in the bell. Yeah? Yes. And put it down. Other way. There you go. Okay, so push down the first valve.
So I just push it up on that way?
Yes, but I mean, you're gonna.
I think. One more time. To go lower. One more. One more.
Just tighten your lips.
Okay, that's as far as it's gonna get.
Is that if I skip below it?
There we go. Also a try. Thank you.
Well, that didn't work out.
Epic fail. Somebody else know how to play the
Well, I had a conclusion that dealt with Megan mastering to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but she didn't.
It
Just proves that practice makes perfect.
We just proved.
Okay, so practice makes perfect. I've hoped you've learned a few of the fundamentals about playing an instrument. Back in the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, it was assumed that every well-educated person could read notated music and play an instrument. Music is a part of our everyday life, and my challenge to you is to widen the range of your knowledge in music, incorporate different styles into your everyday playlist. Music is rewarding, you just have to